Hello and welcome to Silent Creativa. Today it is time for my first doll repaint. I'm using one of the new DC superhero girls, which are quite nice from the body. First I removed her hair and her factory paint. Though this is quite the same every time, I decided not to show this. I opened her head to remove the eye sockets because I would like to insert eyes. First, I sketched out where I would like them to have and how big I would like them. And then, carefully, I cut them out with an X-Acto knife. It's very important that you take your time with this. Though I was quite nervous about it, I directly cut into the whole face and, not into the whole face, but I cut it a bit too much and had to make the eyes a little bit bigger. And yeah, it is quite okay, but be careful with it and really take your time. It needed nearly 2 hours to just remove the vinyl from these spots. After I was quite pleased with the overall look, I removed some more vinyl from behind, from inside the hat, to make it easier to fit the eyes. Then I sanded them down a little bit, just to make it more smooth. To make the eyes, I used polymer clay, and first I thought I would like to make just two balls and cut them in half and make some indents for the pupils and the iris. But I wasn't quite pleased with how this looked. So I decided to make it this way, push some polymer clay inside the eye sockets and make the indents from there, which went a little bit better, and I liked the look a little bit more because it looked more natural. I should have marked which eye is which because after baking I was searching for the right one all the time. I started painting with a dark blue because I wanted the eyes to be a light blue color and the outer corner of the iris should be a little bit darker. It was quite difficult to get this into an even round shape. And then I went just lighter and lighter until I was pleased with it. To fill the indents, I used some UV resin and tried only to fill this first because I would like to shade the eyes later with a little bit of red underneath. And yeah, it may look a little bit weird at this moment, but later when the eyes are inside the head, it looks quite good. So I covered the rest of it with resin, and then it was time to start the makeup for the face. While I was doing the eyes, I prepared the head with 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear to get some grip on it. At this point, I wasn't quite sure what I would like to make out of her, so I just went with a quite simple makeup. And yeah, I was sure that I don't want to make anything that looks like a princess. Yeah, that went totally wrong. In the end, she's a total princess, but you will see that later. I darkened some spots, I highlighted some spots, then I draw in some details with pencils. And to get them quite sharp, I used the X-Acto knife again. Most of the time, this is a little bit of try and error for me, but luckily you can erase everything quite well. After I finished the main makeup, I used some black acrylic paint to draw in some last details like lashes and the eyeliner. After this, I glued in some lashes, but I don't show you this because I filmed it totally out of the frame and you are not able to see anything, so you have to believe me that I glued them in. You will see them later on the doll. Then it was time to glue in the eyes, and that took me quite some time to get them firmly glued in and to have them look into the same direction and not look totally dumb. At the end, she's still looking a little bit, let's say, dreamy, but it's quite okay. To secure the eyes a little bit more, I used some two-part resin clay thing. I don't know how to call it at the moment. Um, yeah, but I lost the footage of it, and so you just have to believe me again. Then I prepared the hair. I had some yarn wefts laying around, and first I thought I would like to curl them, but yeah, I just curled one half of them and skipped the rest and decided to comb it out later. I thought I was filming the part where I glued all the hair in place, but yeah, no, I wasn't filming. So here you see the already glued head, and to make sure that everything is staying in place, I wrapped some kitchen film around it and let it dry like this. After I removed it, I took some of the wefts that I had still laying around and glued them in place without the glue part at the top to get a little bit more of a natural hairline, which went not so well. So I had to remove some hair, glue some on again, and yeah, I struggled a lot with this time. The other times I did this, it was quite easy, but on this doll, I don't know exactly what I did wrong, but I think they were just too thick. So take some smaller portions if you would like to do something like this. First, I thought I will make the hair on camera, but that went quite strange, and so I decided to make it off camera. I watched a tutorial about doing Elsa's hairdo, and so it went quite this into the same direction, which is quite nice. Um, yeah, then I evened everything out with a little bit of water. And then I curled the ponytail. I really liked how this looked, but I thought she needs a little bit more for the hat. So I bent a little crown thing out of wire and attached it to the hat. I did this also off camera because it was quite difficult to do this with the camera right in front of me. Yeah, and that's it for the hat. Next week I will show you how I made her dress, which is quite a journey. I'm still working on it, and until now I'm, yeah, totally exhausted and a little bit uncomfortable with it. But yeah, you will see it next week. So, thank you for watching and have a nice day.